Hey guys, MaxLPQueen here, and welcome back to some more Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we got ourselves the 8th gym badge, and we ran into Hugh, who wanted us to go and do some things and find Team Plasma and all that fun stuff. So we're going to do that in this episode. We're going to find Team Plasma so we can get to the Elite Four. But one little thing here that I want to note, I've decided to box Kling Klang because we don't really need a Steel type anyway for the Elite Four. We need a Psychic type. And I went ahead and chose Lunatone. Because Lunatone has that Rock and Psychic type, which is dual typing and kind of something I wanted. I wanted dual typing on my Pokemon. I thought it would give us a little bit better of an advantage. We already have Psychic and Stone Edge. I'll probably teach it some more moves off screen because I am going to grind it up a little bit. It is not on par with the rest of our Pokemon, but I put the EXP share on it right now just so that it can gain some levels like everyone else, because obviously everyone else is level 52 and it's level 41 or around the 50s. So it'll be around the 50s in the next episode, but for now we're gonna stick with it. It's got Levitate, which is good for ground type moves because I believe those are super effective against us, so we definitely don't need to get hit with one of those. The one thing that I am worried about though is fighting types, because I believe we have a weakness to fighting types because of the Rock, but I will have to see. I don't know exactly, but hopefully we don't, because of the Psychic type it should be just neutral. But in this episode we are actually going to go ahead and catch Terrakion, because apparently you have to wait until after you defeat the final gym before you're able to catch Terrakion. I didn't actually know this until just recently when I was playing it, and I realized that Terrakion was actually right over here where we were at before, but we had to get our 8th gym badge first before we could actually catch it. So I'm probably going to do a lot of grinding over here in this grassy area because the Pokemon are relatively high levels, and it'll be good for Lunatone to get some high levels, some good training. And I didn't find all the trainers over here, I don't think, so that will help me as well with training up Lunatone to the right level that it needs to be. So I'm definitely going to do that. I first saw Terrakion, and I wanted to make sure and save my game because I've been having some really bad trouble with these emulators. They have just not been wanting to work for me. They've been freezing up on me and glitching, and I've had to start over because I forgot to save. So I made sure to go ahead and save before I did that. And I don't know if I noted in the beginning, but this is post-commentary. There is not live commentary on the video because unfortunately my microphone wasn't on and I wasn't able to realize that until after I had done finished recording everything, and I wasn't going to go back and redo it all over again. So I decided to do post-commentary. Obviously it's something that I don't want to do because now I have to go and redo things again, and I don't even remember what I was talking about in the original video, but obviously we're doing post-commentary. So Chorus is going to stop us here before we take on Terrakion, and he is telling us that Terrakion only shows itself to trainers who are really strong against their Pokemon and stuff like that. And he's going to give us his Chorus machine, which should allow us to get past that cave that we weren't able to go past before. You guys actually haven't seen the cave yet because I did it off screen. I wasn't too sure where it led to and what it was, but it turns out there's a crystal at the end of it that is blocking the way to the other side, and we can't go through it until we have that Chorus machine. So he's given us that, and now we can finally move on and go find Team Plasma, because I believe we were supposed to get that and do this little story part of it before we did anything else. So now the only thing we have left to do is take on Terrakion and hopefully catch it. Terrakion is actually the hardest one that I have found to capture, because the other two weren't too bad. I believe I used a Timer Ball on Virizion and caught it, and then I used an Ultra Ball on Cobalion, but it didn't take too many to defeat it. I think what actually helped me was having Tangela, because I believe Tangela had Stun Spore on it, And I didn't have anything that I could really do to this Drakion with the team I have now, because if I burned it, well then I would definitely kill it, because it would die to burn before we even caught it. So I'm going to switch into Virizion because it does have Stone Edge, I believe is what that was, or Rock Throw, and that's super effective against Chandelure, so I don't want to keep it out there. I used Double Kick on it, not realizing that it was super effective, and almost killed it, so that would have been terrible for me. But luckily, Virizion didn't kill Drakion, so now all we have to do really is just keep Virizion alive and try and catch it in some Pokeballs. So this is basically a stall battle. I pretty much sat here for a good 5 minutes trying to catch this thing, and it still would not be caught. It was as low as I could get it. I couldn't hit it again. It kept hitting me with different moves, which apparently were doing big damage to Virizion, of course, and it kept getting critted and everything like that. So I was not able to do anything but just sit here and spam Hyper Potions and Ultra Balls until we got it. I actually tried everything. I tried Dusk Balls and everything else. I even think I did Great Balls. I don't know. I did a whole bunch of Pokeballs and stuff to try and catch this thing. But basically this is all we did for about 5 minutes, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut it until we actually get to the part where we catch him, and then we will continue from there. Alrighty, so finally, after about a good 2 or 3 minutes, finally threw an Ultra Ball at it and caught it. We have Terrakion, the Rock and Fighting type Pokemon, who's going to go into the PC. Obviously, because we don't need it on our team right now. It won't be any help to us. So now we're going to go back to heal up everybody, because Virizion pretty much took a ton of damage, as well as Chandelure. And I actually have run low on Hyper Potions as well. I think I have like 6 Hyper Potions left, and I run a little bit low on Ultra Balls as well. So gotta go get some more of those too, because you never know when we could use those. Obviously, we gotta heal up. We might check out Terrakion before we go take on Team Plasma. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and check him out. I wasn't too sure if I did or not. But there is our Terrakion, who is a Modest Nature, which is actually terrible. Very, very terrible, because that is decreased attack. And this guy is an attacker, if you couldn't tell. Because it already has some high attack, but with the decreased attack, it won't even be necessary to even use it. So I'm going to stick with Virizion, because Virizion is obviously my favorite of the 3. I like Copalion too, but I think Virizion kind of works better for us, because we don't have a grass type on our team, and we already have a good team right now anyway. We don't necessarily need anybody else. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with Virizion. And now you're actually going to go and find Team Plasma, because that's what we were supposed to do in the first place. I believe I went ahead and went back this way towards the Giant Chasm Cave, not the Giant Chasm. The Giant Chasm Cave, because originally Team Plasma was in there blocking the way, so I thought maybe they had went in there, and we could go past them now and continue on from there. But I think that is the way to a different area, so it's actually still blocked with the Team Plasma people, and you will see that in actually just a few seconds once we run away from this Clefairy. So I decided to go ahead and actually cut to the route right before we get there, because we're supposed to go head up north right here in the Seaside Cave, which is what I decided to do. So I just went ahead and cut it so you guys didn't have to see me walk all the way back through the Marine Tube, because that's basically what I had to do. I had to go through the Marine Tube and come back on the other side of Undella Town, and then surf to the right, and then surf up to the cave area. Obviously, I've already taken on the Rock and Roller guy. I told you guys about that. And I also took on most of the trainers in here as well. This will probably be where I do my grinding, because there's another room in this place where you have to use strength that we don't necessarily have to go to. It's down here. And I think there's some trainers in here as well. I'll probably do that off screen, and I'm probably going to teach someone strength because we don't have anybody that knows strength, and I think you actually do need it for the victory road. So what we gotta do now is use the chorus machine on Crystal, and technically if we wanted to we could catch this thing, but I have no need for it and no use for it at all, so I'm not gonna catch it. And we're gonna go to Route 21, where we finally have run into the Team Plasma ship, and we're gonna finally be able to find them after looking and searching all this time. You found them! I knew you could do it. Of course, Hugh, what did you expect? I'm supposed to do everything so that I can finally move on, but I can't move on until I do everything. It's just a whole circle of this little girl having to do everything for all these adults so that she can go to the victory road and go to the Elite Four and defeat the champion and become champion of the region. It's a lot to put on my shoulders, but we can do it. So Marlon is going to help us out here. He has no beef with Team Plasma, but he said if we think that they're bad people and we would like to fight them, that's our thing, and he's not going to get involved, of course, so we're not going to get any help from him. But Hugh has this weird vendetta against these people because they stole his sister's purloin, so we gotta fight these guys. Basically, the whole reason we gotta fight Team Plasma is because of Hugh. We wouldn't even be in this mess if it wasn't for him, because if I was doing this for real, I would probably avoid these bad people, and I would continue on my way and getting my badges and going to the Elite Four. But no, we have to be friends with a rival who has a chip on his shoulder. So we're gonna go ahead and at least take on this Team Plasma guy before we end off the episode, because I accidentally walked on the ship and I didn't know that you had to fight him as soon as you got on the ship. I thought I could go ahead and save there, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it, but unfortunately I have to fight this Team Plasma people, and I believe the next episode is probably going to be the same. We're probably just going to be fighting a whole bunch of Team Plasma people before we can even begin to make our way to Victory Road. But he's got himself a Watchhog who used Baton Pass, and now it's a Garbodor. I don't know why he would use Baton Pass, because he didn't raise his stats or anything, he just switched out. Of course it's going to use Toxic on my Beartick, but we do have that Bulldoze on it, so that's good for us. I might actually see if Lunatone can learn Bulldoze. A nice ground type move would be good to have on it as well. So you're going to send back in that Watchhog, so I'm going to send back in for Ezion, because fighting types are great against those normal type Pokemons. And one Sacred Sword is going to take it out. That's going to do it for the Team Plasma Grunt, and he's going to, of course, get angry. And the hatch is still open. Of course it's still open. Marlon opened it. So he's going to check the ship, and Zinzolion went that way apparently. So he's going to do that, and we're going to end the episode off here. But in the next episode we will explore the Plasma ship, hopefully take care of these guys once and for all. Maybe run into some legends, I don't know. And then make our way finally to Victory Road in the Elite Four. Can't believe we're almost finished with another one. I will see you guys in the next episode of our Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke.